We are reading, we do every week, Thursday, Bhagavad Gita sessions. Right now we are on chapter number 12. And we have discussed many times. The material education goes like this. What you have studied in your LKG, my daughter. So, or senior KG, junior KG. We don't study that again in our engineering studies. We don't do A for apple, B for bone, C for cat. That is material education. But spiritual education goes in spiral mode. We read the same thing again, but in much more depth, So Bhagavad Gita is exactly like that. Krishna is speaking the same things, but in much more deeper way as we proceed towards the entire Bhagavad Gita. I told this story many times how I got introduced to Krishna consciousness. Some of you would be thinking very hard, full say. But I'll just tell one of the learning that I had from that incident. My sister had invited me to Singapore for a retreat. Before that, I was not so much interested in spirituality and all. I used to feel money is honey. Working in JP Morgan Chase, investment bank, top banks. From my university, that is Mumbai University, dṛḍha-niścayaḥ, only 5 people got into got into JP Morgan. And JP Morgan at that time was the highest, what we got, CTC. So I was already in cloud 9. And 5 people only were recruited from JP Morgan. So my idea was like that money is honey, we should just enjoy life like that. Just now I got money that time. So, and then my sister told, come to Singapore. So 3 days I was in Singapore retreat in Bali, which is like around 3 hours by ship from Singapore to Bali. And after 3 days of retreat, I was very amazed by the people that I met and by the humility that they possessed. Although they were from very esteemed backgrounds. One of them was the CTO from Barclays. Can you imagine? So we were sharing the same room. So, but very humble person. Now he's moved to New York. Now he's a temple. He's a board of director in Bhakti Center, New York. Anyways, so these kind of people I was meeting, and then I was so inspired by that I started chanting 60 rounds after the 3rd day of my retreat. I came again another time, and then after that I started chanting 16 rounds. So when I was going back to India, catching a flight from Singapore to India, my sister told me I asked my sister, because she was practicing for almost 2-3 years, especially reading Bhagavad Gita. She told me while leaving that Bhagavad Gita padna bhaiya, she told me. So she told me to read Bhagavad Gita, and I asked her, what is one thing that is your biggest takeaway from this text, this entire Bhagavad Gita spiritual book? And she told me, which was very deep. That time I couldn't understand. Later on, when I started reading Bhagavad Gita, started meeting, coming to ISKCON temple, so appreciating her statement. What she told is, be very careful with the desires you have in your life. It can turn into reality. I was thinking that I want that. I want it to happen a reality. I want my desires to become a reality. But then she told, you never know in what shape and form it will come. The desires that you have, that will be fulfilled. But in what shape and form it will fulfill, you never know. Like once there was a couple, they were both 60 years old. Happy birthday was there, 60 years old they were. And coincidentally, they had completed 40 years of their marriage also. So this couple was thinking that, I have some desires in my life. When will it be fulfilled? Like that they were thinking. Both of them were thinking. So suddenly a genie appeared in front of them. So the wife first asked. The wife asked the genie that, I've been already 60 and so much I have earned and all, but I never got the time to move around the entire this world. I want to move around this world. So genie said, Tathastu or whatever in their language, and said, he gave the ticket and he said, you can go around wherever you want to go. Then the genie asked the husband, what is your wish? He said, I want to become 30 years younger to my wife. So genie made his wife 90 years old. You understood? So how the desires will be fulfilled, we never know. Right? Once a person was entering was walking around the street and he saw a board on the shop written that you can shop whatever you want. You don't have to pay, your grandson will pay. You don't have to pay, your grandson will pay. So he said, "Arey, this is amazing. By the time my grandson will grow old, I will be anyways out of this world. So, I'll just now do shopping whatever I want." So he went into the shop, he started shopping left, right and center, and whoever helpers were there in the shop, they were telling him, go ahead, buy. Anyways, your grandson will be paying, you don't have to pay. He said, yes, I know, I saw that placard outside the shop. So this guy was continuing shopping left, right, center, whatever he wanted. His desires he was trying to fulfill. And then he came at the cashier counter. Cashier was just putting everything in the bag, and he said, you don't have to pay anything. He said, yeah, I know. I don't have to pay anything. Everything will be paid by my grandson. So, and then this guy was just about to leave the shop. Someone immediately gave him a big bill. And he said, wait, I heard that my grandson is supposed to pay for this. Then he said, no, this is your grandfather who bought the things.
Right.
So, in what form the desires will come and in what form it will be fulfilled, we don't know. Krishna says that be very careful of your desires. And that's what my sister told me first time. She said, be very careful. Sometimes we have so many desires, right? But in what form, shape it will come, we have to be very mindful. Bhagavad Gita actually teaches us to hone. To hone means to refine the kind of desires we have defined. And that's why it is so important to read the Bhagavad Gita. It just helps us. Bhagavad Gita talks about there are 4 kinds of desires. There are 4 kinds of desires. First desire is the desire that can be ignored. Can you think of desires that can be ignored?
Food cravings.
Food cravings, yes, food cravings. Actually, I will put it in the desires that can be dovetailed. But anyways, food cravings, yeah. Yes, if one eats too much, right, then they can become obese. Recently, I was hearing an article, it was said 85% of the Indians are suffering from obesity. So, obese, yes. I was remember, anyways, I went to the doctor, so let's not get there. Yes, what else? There is no desire to be ignored. These are saintly personalities, my God. Huh? Entertainment. Entertainment can be ignored. I try to dovetail it somehow. I talk about it. But yeah, entertainment, right? Sometimes we get so busy, Instagram, just keep scrolling. And what else? Facebook, we have so many things we have, right? And then after 2 hours, we realize, my God, our time got wasted. We didn't realize only, right? So, Bhagavad Gita talks about that these kind of desires, better we ignore. Let it come, but we don't give attention to it because we know that it is just going to waste our time. Right? Ignore. I remember I have spoken about this. Just coming to Krishna consciousness, just started coming to ISKCON temple. Once our friends had decided to have a get together on Friday. Like Piyush Prabhu does Friday cooking class. They decided to have a drinking class. They all will drink together like that. So they all came. It was, I think, in San Mateo downtown. The building is called Hills Forum. We used to stay that time. So they all came and entire night they were drinking, they were enjoying. And that time I started coming to ISKCON and I was realizing that that is one way of enjoying what we do in ISKCON. Dancing, singing, reading, prasadam, and this is another way of enjoying it. And they were, nicely drunk. Next day, we were supposed to go to a restaurant to eat. So that time I used to eat all outside. So next day, whoever I had drunk last night, they all were having headache, stomachache, puking in the toilet, everything. And that time I realized that what they call as so-called happiness, it's actually distress. They think that they will enjoy drinking, but it's actually distress. Right? Recently, someone sent me some snapshot. Someone sent me. Shah Rukh Khan was standing on the podium and he said, "Earlier I used to smoke 80 cigarettes. Now I smoke only 6 cigarettes a day." And everybody was like, "Oh wow!" I think such a foolish person. I mean, still he has understood. Now he's already 50 plus. Sorry, no offense to SRK lovers. but just think about it. He has been already 60. I mean, I don't know what it is. Sorry, he will get offended if I say 60. I don't know what is his age. But at this age also, he has not realized that cigarette is injurious to health. Now he's saying, oh, I'm doing 60. I'm now into 6. But so hard. I mean, so hard to overcome the lower habits that we have formed over a period of time. But Bhagavad Gita, taking association of devotees, all these things helps us to understand that what are the different kinds of desires and what desires, how to handle those desires. So first desire that we discussed is what? The desires should be ignored. Second type of desires are the desires that has to be dovetailed or directed. Dovetailed or directed means there is a desire which you think is completely materialistic. Like for example, she mentioned food craving. It is like today I want to eat what? Chole bhature. Yeah, chole bhature. Right? Especially if it's coming from Delhi. Right? Yeah, and on the side, ginger, chop. But it can be dovetailed. Now everybody, kaise? If you offer it to Krishna. And Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti upartam ashnami prayaḥ. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, 27th verse 6 says the same thing. It was an offering to me. If you offer it to Krishna and then you eat, then it's no longer bhog. You're not trying to enjoy it, but that is prasadam. It's remnants. See, if you go in any temple, they tell, please have prasadam. Why they say prasadam? Prasadam means remnants. Remnants means someone who has already had and now you're eating the remaining part of it. So when you offer it to Krishna and then you eat, what you are honoring is now remnants. Krishna has already eaten it. So whatever we eat, we should try to offer it to Krishna. And Krishna obviously doesn't eat onion, garlic and non-veg. If you see in Vaishnava temples, you go to any Vaishnava temple, you visit any Vaishnava temple, including Tirupati, which is in a place where a lot of meat consumption happens. But even in that temple, if you go to the temple Tirupati, I had gone 3 years back. There also, they will not have any consumption of meat, onion, garlic. It's amazed. I was amazed. You go to any Vaishnava temple, they will not have these consumptions. So because Krishna doesn't have, so Vishnu also doesn't have. Vishnu doesn't have, so Vaishnavas who are worshipping Vishnu, they also don't have. And there is a science behind it, which we'll discuss in chapter number 16 and 17. That we'll discuss. So, why did we discuss food craving? So you can offer it to Krishna. So not alcohol and all. That cannot be redirected. That is to be ignored. And things can be directed. Like for example, entertainment, he said. Entertainment also can be directed. If you like movies, then instead of watching movies, you can watch dramas. Dramas in ISKCON Chowpatty, you will see so much dramas, or you can watch the Narasimha Dev movie, something like that. After you know, right? This movie has come. So you can direct your. If you want a chair, you can sit there. You can take this chair. Feel free, whatever. Or in garage, we have a lot of chairs.
No, I feel.
You can bring the chair here. You can sit. Whatever you are comfortable with. So one type of desire is to be ignored. Second type of desire is to be directed or dovetailed. Right? Like for example, like say you like to cook. You can cook for the devotees. You can cook for Vaishnavas. You can cook for Krishna. Like how once a month. Oh, I think this will not be comfortable. I'll get a chair. This might.
No problem.
This is not. It's not strong enough to. Yeah. We'll get the chair. So first type of desire is to be ignored. Second type of desire is to be dovetailed, directed. Third type of desire is desire that has to be purified. Purified means it is by default, it is spiritual, but it has tinge of material thing in it. Like for example, when we are cooking, we are thinking, oh, when people will eat, they will say, "Arey, Mataji, kya banaya hai?" Bhauji, kya banaya? So we might think like that. So it is spiritual. You are cooking it for Krishna, but there is tinge of maybe pride in it, right? Which is okay. Some at our level we can have that, but slowly we should try to purify it. And how we can purify it? By taking association of devotees, by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Kaler dosha nidhe rajan, asti eka mahan guna, kirtana deva krishnasya, mukta sangha param braje. It says, Kaler dosha nidhe rajan. Hey Rajan, in this Kali Yuga, Kaler dosha means in this Kali Yuga, dosha, there are a lot of faults. And if you don't believe me, you can ask your spouse. And if you don't have spouse, you can ask your roommate. If you don't have roommate, you can ask your parents. And if you don't have that also, you can ask your manager. Someone will tell you. There are so many doshas in this world. Some of the other faults we have. But Kale dosha nidhe rajan. Oh Rajan. We say, hey Rajan. We used to watch that serial in that. We used to say, hey Rajan. Nidhe means nidhi. Nidhi means ocean. Ocean of faults are there in this material world. So, Kaler dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahan guna. But there is one mahaguna. What is it? Kirtanad. Kirtanad eva krishnasya. Hari kirtan. Chanting of the holy names of the Lord. That is the one great benediction or great guna that is there, quality that is there in this Kali Yuga. Mukta sangha param braje. One can get liberated from this cycle of birth and death just by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And that's why a serious practitioner, every day in the morning, whatever time they have, they try to chant the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You might feel, this takes 2 hours. But imagine, we are anyways wasting our time in so many other things, right? When we start bringing Krishna more and more in our life, those things which are not Krishna conscious automatically will take aside. So that is the goal. We should fill our life with Krishna conscious. Right now we are filling our life which is not Krishna conscious. But by chanting the holiness of God, by reading Bhagavad Gita, by taking association of devotees, we can fill our life with Krishna conscious. And 4th thing, so 3 things we discussed. Desires that can be ignored. Second is desires that can be dovetailed. Right? We are at that stage. We should try to dovetail whatever we see that things which are lower natures, we should see how can we dovetail it towards Krishna. Third is desires that can be purified, which are already spiritual, but it has tinge of material elements in it. And 4th is desires that can be expanded. These are by natural, these are spiritual, but somehow we are not giving enough time to it. We should just expand it. We should do more and more. Chanting is one such thing. Reading of Bhagavad Gita is one such thing. Now we have started reading this Krishna book every day, 3:45 to 4:15. Every day we read for 30 minutes. We should see how we can make our life more and more Krishna conscious. So, and it is hard. Initially it is hard. You might think, oh, I have so many things to do. I want to enjoy with my friends. But slowly you will start realizing enjoying with my friends is that important by bringing my consciousness down, or it is better to come to temple, take association of devotees, read Bhagavad Gita, read Srimad Bhagavatam, read Krishna book. Is that better? What will raise my consciousness more? So that will give us deeper realization, and we can make proper decisions, because decisions determines our destiny. Decisions determine our destiny. What kind of decisions we make will determine our destiny. And so that's why we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada, who has given us an opportunity to read this sacred text called Bhagavad Gita. And if you just open up Bhagavad Gita, you will see that the Sanskrit verses, it is so hard to understand. But Srila Prabhupada, by his mercy, he has given the translation word to word meaning. If you don't believe that whatever the sadhu has written, is it correct or not, then you can do word-to-word comparison. He has mentioned that. And then he has written a commentary. Commentary is his realization, but his realization is not his just, got up in the morning and thought, "Arey, aaj kya likhunga?" No, it's not like that. It's based on his previous acharyas, what he has learned from previous teachers. He writes in the preface of Bhagavad Gita that the only credit that I can take from this book is that I have not added or subtracted anything would have learned from previous acharyas. And that is amazing thing. Usually we say that if you come up with something new, only then you can write a thesis. Right? You have to come with something new. But Chaitanya Prabhu is very nice devotee. He says, in ISKCON, copy is the right. In other world, outside world, copyright is not allowed. But in ISKCON, copy is the right. Basically, whatever we speak from based on what we have heard from other devotees. We just copy paste. We just speak as it is. So that's what the beauty about this Bhagavad Gita, that as it is, it is. That's why it is called as it is. It is not because to keep as it is to read as it is. You have to read as it is. So with that, we will start with the 12th chapter. Bhagavad Gita starts with Arjuna asking question to Arjuna, kya karu, kya na karu? Whether I should fight or not fight. He was confused. Whether I should fight or not. And then Krishna starts by saying a very, very fundamental thing. He says that Dehino asmita dehe kaumaram yovanam jara. He says that you are not this body. You are not this body. You are the spirit soul. That is the very, very fundamental thing that Krishna starts with. Because unless until we don't know this, sometimes we say, no, God is there or not. Which God is God? We have so many confusion. But Krishna is saying, forget about it. First understand who you are. You are not this material body, but the spirit soul. And we can understand that by so many proof. One basic thing is that a person is, let's say, dead, he is lying. He is still there, the body is still there. Then why we are all crying for that person? Right? Oh, chala gaya. But nahi gaya, wo to udhar hi hai. Still, that body is still there. Then why are we crying? For whom we are crying? Right? We understand that body, we are separate from the body. We are not this mind also. We are not this intelligence also. There is something beyond that. We are atma. We are spirit soul. So that is the first thing that Bhagavad Gita starts with. Imagine, of all the teachings, right? Bhagavad Gita starts with this very basic thing that you are not this body, Arjuna, but the spirit soul. And then Krishna starts with other things. And then we reach towards 12th chapter. In the 11th chapter, Arjuna tells to Krishna that Krishna, I want to see your Virat Rupa. I want to see your innocence. Because by 10th chapter, Arjuna is convinced that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. He is the supreme personality of body. And everything, all the expansion actually comes from Krishna. Arjuna, by 10th chapter, he has now complete conviction. So in the 11th chapter, he tells to Krishna that, oh Krishna, I want to see your universal form, that full form. In cricket, we have full form. In that clear. Arjuna says to Krishna, I want to see your Virat Rupa. Then Krishna shows his Virat Rupa. But then he was excited that today I was going to see this, but the chilling vision turned into thrilling. That thrilling vision turned into chilling vision. Suddenly he got scared that, oh my God, what am I seeing? I'm seeing Kauravas getting into the mouth of this Krishna. So Krishna indirectly says that all these Kauravas are going to die anyways. You are Bhavya Sabyasachi. You are just an instrument of all this. So Arjuna, get up and play cricket. No, fight. Krishna said to Arjuna, get up and fight. And then in 12th chapter, the entire 12th chapter is divided into 3 questions. Arjuna is asking 3 questions to Krishna. What are those 3 questions? First question is asking, how should we worship you? Should we worship you as a person or as an impersonalist? Impersonalist means Brahman. As a person or as a Brahman. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated that Krishna can be worshipped in 3 forms. Vadanti tat tattvavidam tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. There are 3 ways. Let's see that verse. Everyone is able to see the screen? Vadanti tat tattvavidam. You can repeat it. Let's read this verse. It's a beautiful verse. Vadanti tat tattvavidah Tattvam yajnanamadvayam. Tattvam yajnanamadvayam. Tattvam yajnanamadvayam. Once there was some kids had come on the stage and they were performing dance. So after the dance performance, in the audience, everyone was shouting, once more, once more. So the kids felt, "Hey, we performed so nicely." So teacher said, "You perform again." See, audience is saying once more, once more. So all the kids performed again. Entire performance they did again. So the audience again shouted, once more at the end of the entire performance. So the kids said, "My God, they are not able to stop to see your performance. We are too good." So teacher said, "Do again. So all of them started performing again. So entire performance happened, and then the audience again said, once more. The kids said, "Hey, we are only 4.5 years old. We are tired, Baba. We have to go." So then one of the kid asked in one of the audience, "But you liked our performance so much that you kept saying once more. He said, "No, you are making mistakes. So we wanted to see what is the correct one." So we again said once more. So sometimes we can again repeat till the time we do it correctly. So we'll do it again. Vadanti tat tattvavidah. Tattvam yajnanamadvayam. Brahmeti paramatmeti. Bhagavan iti shabdate. See, so nicely it was coming now. I should tell this story again after the verse. So it says that Tattva-vidah, Tat means supreme personality, that the learned souls, Tattva means the absolute truth, can be understood in three ways. One is Brahman. Brahman is a spiritual light that comes out of the spiritual world. The material world and spiritual world is separated by spiritual light. You might have heard this term, Brahma Jyoti. Right? So one can merge into Brahman effulgence, that entire spiritual light. So that is one way to understand Krishna. Higher than that is Paramatma, Paramatmeti. Paramatma means the Paramatma that is within the heart. Dhruv Maharaj, Narad Muni was, when he was meditating on Krishna, when he was a small boy, Narada, he was meditating on Krishna, and then Krishna appeared as Paramatma in his heart. And then he said, in the next life he will become Narad Muni. There's a story in Srimad Bhagavatam, how that Narada became Narad Muni. So the higher than that Brahman is Paramatma. And higher than Paramatma is Bhagavan, the Supreme Bhagavan, which is Krishna himself as a person. So Arjuna is asking Krishna, what is better? Brahman is better or Paramatma is, or Bhagavan is better? The person form of Krishna is better. So Krishna says that Krishna as a person is better, because then you can have reciprocation with Krishna. You offer to Krishna something, you pray to Krishna. There is some reciprocation, there is some adan-pradan, there is some relationship with Krishna. So it is said that if you are full of desires, if you want to fulfill all the desires, then you are an hedonist. You know hedonist? One who wants to fulfill all the desires. Ye bhi karna, sab kuch karna. Jo desires have 100 laundry list, things to do before I die. Something like that. I had a goal of 100 top IMDb movies before I die. But after 10, I came to Krishna consciousness. So I stopped. But anyways, so Shawshank Redemption and all I saw that time. Thanks to this. But anyways, so one who wants to fulfill all the desires, they are known as hedonist. One who wants to fulfill no desires, nothing I want to do, they are known as impersonalist. But one who wants to channelize the desires are known as perfectionist. That are devotees. You understood? Should I repeat? One who wants to fulfill all the desires are known as hedonist. One who wants to fulfill no desires, nothing, naiti. They are thinking like that, naiti. Everything has to be ignored. That is not the case, right? We have many other types of desires. Who wants to ignore everything, they are known as impersonalist. And one who wants to channelize the desires towards Krishna, they are known as perfectionist. Or we can say devotees. So, karma yogi, jnana yogi or bhakta yogi. So like that. So Arjuna is asking Krishna that what is better? Brahman effulgence is better, worshipping that, merging with Brahman is better, or worshipping you as a person is better. And then Krishna, in 2nd to 7th verse, he is explaining that what are the disadvantages of doing Brahman effulgence or merging with Brahman effulgence. It's hard, it is cumbersome, it is not easy. Imagine if I tell you close your eyes and don't think about anything. So like, kuch na kuch to something will go, right? Something I will think, either this movie or that movie, or tomorrow I have to what I have to say about my update in my company, right? In the stand-up, something I will think about, right? But if I tell you, okay, think about the beautiful form of Krishna, where Yashoda Maiya is running behind Krishna with a stick, right? Then you can think, oh, here it is, yeah. Then you can think something, right? Why? Because now you are remembering Krishna as a person, something to hold on to. So Krishna is saying that the Brahma Jyoti, if you are trying to merge towards Brahman, if you have that kind of desire, it's very hard, it's not easy to achieve. But if you are taking Krishna as a person, you are worshipping Krishna as a person, it is easy. So then Krishna is talking about all 2nd to 7th verse, is talking about all this. And then Arjuna is asking second question to Krishna, that what are different ways by which I can achieve you. And from verse number 8 to verse number 12, Krishna is saying about various ways by which you can achieve me. It's like ladder, ladder, he's saying. Love of ladder you can think. Like how are the different ways by which you can achieve. And finally, Arjuna is asking the third question, from which we are going to discuss today. Now is the class starting, which is what are the different qualities that we should try to develop? What are the virtues that a devotee should develop, by which you become very happy? Because you want to please Krishna, right? Because you have realized pleasing spouse is not easy, right? Some of you have, they might understand. Pleasing kids also not easy, and pleasing manager to, very hard. Who said that? Yeah, very hard, right? It's very hard, especially if you're in Amazon. It's very, very hard, right? So we have understood that people around us will never be happy all the time. So only one person can be happy with us all the time. That is Krishna. So better we please Krishna. So Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna, that what are the different virtues that I can develop by which you can be pleased? So from 13th to 28th, now Krishna is talking about 39 virtues. 39 virtues developed in a particular. 39 virtues is talking about. And it is good, we can just go through it, and by going through it, we might grow through it. We might help us to, maybe we might feel that, okay, how to do it. And sometimes it is not hard. If we just see people around us, especially saintly people, we can see they have some glimpse of these virtues. And just by practicing Bhakti Yoga, we can develop these virtues. Let me show you one hope-giving verse. Hope-giving verse. I'm forgetting the verse number. Whatever I quote is mostly from Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's considered as Amala Purana. Yasyasti Bhakti. I forgot the verse. Yasyasti Bhakti. Google is amazing. No, it just says Bhagavati Akinchana. 5:18. You can repeat after me. Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana. Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana. Sarve gunaistattra samasate sura. Sarve gunaistattra samasate sura. Harava-bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Harava-bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Manorathena sati dhavato vahi. It is one of my favorite words. It's a very, very hope-giving verse. You can try to remember this verse also. It's a very beautiful verse. Sura. You know what does Sura means? Sura means demigods, devatas. Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Ganeshji, like that. These are devatas. And guna means qualities. So it is sarve gunai. Sarve gunai is all the qualities that are within the devatas. We can imbibe, we will see. And how? By Bhakti. So let's read the translation. We'll start from you, Ruchi.
All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion of the Supreme Personality.
Just by performing bhakti yoga, one can develop these kind of qualities, which are in devatas. That's what this verse is saying. It's so amazing. You don't have to, try hard. Just by doing this bhakti yoga sincerely, chanting the holy names of the Lord, taking association of Vaishnavas, we can slowly develop these qualities.
On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activity has no good qualities.
It is hard. It is hard. If you have not taken shelter of Krishna, it is hard to develop these good qualities.
Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relative, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man?
External energy is material world. There was once a person, he was so addicted to working. Like a donkey, he used to work 9 to 5 every day. He had a shop. So continuously he was working. And he had 4 sons. After he got a little older, he assigned his 4 sons at the shop to take care of the shop. So when he was dying, all the sons felt that we should come at least now to see him. So all the sons were surrounding him. And when he was dying, he opened his eyes before dying, and he saw his 4 sons standing there, and he said, "Lokān pe kaun hai? Lokān pe kaun hai?" Why? Because at that moment also, before dying also, he was thinking that what about the shop, right? Because he was so engrossed in the material qualities, all the material world, was so much engaged. These kind of qualities, it's very hard for them to develop good qualities. Right now, he was in anxiety. Imagine, now he's dying. He's supposed to be peaceful, but he's not able to develop that kind of qualities. Right? He was having anxiety ki dukaan pe kaun hai. So, Krishna is saying that by performing devotional service, one can develop good qualities. So we'll see now what are those good qualities. Many of that we already did last time. So we'll just read the translation now. So what we'll do is we'll read the translation. Ramya, you want to read? You can read the translation 13-14. I accept it. 12.13-14. There are 2 verses. Or someone else can read, and then 14. You want to read? Okay. Sure.
Okay, I'll take this. 13-14. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, one who does not think himself as a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Yeah, and I was reading tolerant. I think my spouse, she can do it. But this is so amazing, right? Krishna is saying we should develop these virtues. And at the end, he's saying, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. We go to the verse, adveṣṭā sarva-bhūtānāṁ. Sarva-bhūtānāṁ means he is non-envious to all the living entities. Bhuta means not ghost. Bhuta also means living entities. Bhuta. Maitraḥ, he is like a friend to everyone. And it's very hard, but one develops that. If you see some great personalities, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was known as Ajatashatru. You know what Ajatashatru means? He was born with no enemies. Why? Now you might say, we have this Duryodhana. He was the enemy. Duryodhana saw him as an enemy, but he never saw Duryodhana as an enemy. He did the needful. Sometimes manager says, no, please do the needful. So he did the needful. And then he did the needful. But he never considered him as enemy. Ajatashatru. Maitraḥ. He was friend to everyone. Karuna, this is very, very important. Compassion. He should have compassion. She should have compassion. Srila Prabhupada was at the epicenter of spiritual world in Damodar temple in Vrindavan. Imagine a saintly person nicely being situated in Vrindavan, but he decided to come to New York to give Krishna consciousness to the entire world. Imagine you are at the age of 70 and you are being told, you go to now Nigeria, go to some place there, sit there on the road and chant Hare Krishna. You will say Hare Krishna. But he took that as the instruction from his spiritual master. And he came to New York in Bowery, where all the drunkards, hippies were there. And he made those hippies and happies. Why? Because of this compassion. Karuna. It's very hard. It's very hard. But that's why he is Srila Prabhupada. Right? The founder of ISKCON. So, adveṣṭā sarva-bhūtānāṁ, maitraḥ. We should be friend to everyone and karuna. We should have compassion. It's hard, but it is possible. We should have compassion towards everyone. Nirmamo. Nirmamo means there are two things. Mamata and ahamta. Mamata means this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Even our senses are not ours. You think mind is also not ours. We can't even control our mind, right? There's a song, right? Mera man kyun tumhe chahe. He only doesn't know. My mind is hearing that person. And these are the songs, right? So our mind is also not ours. So when we have this understanding, this nothing is mine, then it is nirmamo. And it is hard. Again, it is hard, but we'll see when we come to temple, we meet other devotees, then we can understand that this quality can also be developed. And nirahaṅkāraḥ means ahankar means I am doing this, I am doing this, I am doing this. This is run by me, this one. That kind of mentality. But then we realize that nirahaṅkāraḥ means no, whatever good is happening, that is because of Krishna's mercy. That is because of Krishna. That is because of Vaishnava's mercy. When we cook in the temple, when someone says that, "Arey Prabhuji, kya banaya?" Then we say Radharani's mercy. Radharani's mercy. Because we always say that the kitchen belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is cooking always for Krishna. Right? There is one devotee. Long back we asked him, whatever happens, he stays very far from the temple. ISKCON temple, he stays like Pleasanton. And even if it is 10 o'clock, he will still make sure that the entire kitchen is clean, and only then he will go. And there are times when nobody is there in the kitchen. Everybody there leaves after Sunday because they are tired eating so much. Prabhuji, I have to go home. So they are all leaving, but this guy will be there till then. And once his happy birthday was there. So happy birthday time, you can ask any question. They are also very compassionate. So I asked him, what makes you stay late night, but you clean the entire kitchen, especially kitchen, and only then you go home. Then he says that I always, whenever I enter kitchen, I feel this Radharani's kitchen. I cannot keep it dirty and leave the home. I just can't leave for home. He says that whatever happens, the kitchen has to be clean, and only then I will leave. His name is Hari Sankirtan Das. Some of you might know him. He cooks one of the Sundays. You find such personalities when you come to ISKCON temple. So, yeah. Otherwise, in company, what you will feel? Kaise ka patch laga? Put in the production. Right? You can see the difference between material world and spiritual world. When you come to temple, you can see how material world deals with things and how spiritual deals with things. Right? Spiritual person deals with things. Nirmamo, nirahaṅkāraḥ, sama-duḥkha-sukhaḥ, kṣamī. Dukkha-sukha, he is seeing as same. Oh, it is so hard, right? Imagine. I remember this actually happened. His Holiness Radharani Swami Maharaj, he wrote the book Journey Home, and then he wrote the second book Journey Within. And when he wrote Journey Within, all the devotees were trying hard to get it become the bestseller. So they were trying their own way, whatever they can, and then it became a New York Times bestseller book. So they all came to His Holiness Radharani Swami Maharaj. He was sitting in Los Angeles temple. Rukmini Dwarkadish temple, he was sitting there, and some devotees came to him. I think one of them was this Jai Shetty. You know Jai Shetty? Yeah. So yeah, he's a disciple of Radharani Swami Maharaj. Gaur Gopal Das, he's a disciple. So Jai Shetty and there were some other devotees. They came to Radharani Swami Maharaj and they said that, Maharaj, we are happy to announce that your book has become New York Times bestseller. It's a big deal, right? Imagine your thesis have become that even CMU students are explaining. Whatever, want to draw a parallel. So, and Maharaj was, he heard, he was pleased, but he was like very sober. So then these devotees asked, Maharaj, you're not happy? Your book became New York Times bestseller. Right? Then he said, this year my book is bestseller, next year someone else's books will be bestseller. Right? So a devotee of the Lord is samata. He is not affected by dukkha or sukha. He is happy with whatever thing comes, but he understands the mercy of the Lord. It's amazing. Once a king was there and he said to his what is called, is one of his minister, give me a mantra by which either it's dukkha or sukha, I am sober. Either it's dukkha or sukha, I am sober. So the minister next day gave him a ring, and he said, you always wear this ring. So this king said, what is mentioned in that ring? So he said, open that ring. It was a small opening, and in that opening it was mentioned, this shall too pass. This shall too pass. So if there is some dukkha, this shall too pass. If it is sukha, this shall too pass. Should too pass. So by that you will be sober. Santuṣṭaḥ. Santuṣṭaḥ is tolerant. Santuṣṭaḥ is tolerant or satisfied. Satataṁ yogī, yatātmā dṛḍha-niścayaḥ. You have to be determined. Srila Prabhupada was determined that whatever happens, I have been given this instruction from my spiritual master. I want to come to the West and I want to share this Krishna consciousness. The determination has to be there. Dhruv Maharaj had the determination that whatever I want, in 6 months I want darshan of Krishna. In 6 months, I want determination. Right? 6 months, I want darshan of Krishna. And maiy arpita-mano-buddhir, all my mind and intelligence should be completely focused on Krishna. So this verse has 12 qualities. 7 plus 5, 7 up and 5 below. So like that there are 39. Now we will do the next verse. Now we will go a little fast. Anyways, we have more time. 20 minutes. Yasmān nodvijate loko. Lokān nodvijate harṣāmarṣa-bhayodvegair. Mukto sacha-me priyaḥ. Yeah, who is next to read? Yeah, go ahead.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and
because of me others are not put into difficulty. Right? That kind of nature. So hard again, right? But
and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me.
like anxiety is like that person I talk about, right? That person who saw the 4 sons and he was in anxiety. Dukan pe kaun hai? Right? So a person who is sober is not affected. Because he should understand it's my last stage. Now what is remaining? Right? What is remaining? There's a very beautiful story of Stoka Krishna. I'll share on the WhatsApp group because less time. I just talk. He was about to leave the world. He was a devotee of the Lord. Krishna, he was staying as brahmachari. Later on he became dṛḍha in ISKCON Chowpatty. And when it's final days of the moment, when he was leaving, Gaur Gopal Das, many devotees were doing kirtan for him. And then finally Maharaj came. And how he told Stoka Krishna Prabhu and his family, he told his family, now you leave the room, let Stoka Krishna Prabhu only think about Krishna. Think about it. At the last moment of your life, you want to meet your spouse, you want to meet your kids, you want to meet your parents, if he's still there, they're still there. But Maharaj told his family members, his wife and his kids, you please leave the room now. Let him just meditate on Krishna. Just meditate on Krishna. Let him not have any anxiety. And continuously Maharaj was telling him, just remember all the pastimes of Krishna that you have read from Krishna. And remember that Krishna is now waiting for you in the spiritual world, in Golokān. Srila Prabhupada is waiting for you in the spiritual world. Just think about that. Stoka Krishna Prabhu was telling like that to Stoka Krishna. And with that consciousness, Stoka Krishna Prabhu then left the world. Think about it. What kind of consciousness do we want to have when we are living the world? Do we want to have the consciousness, hey Krishna, next week, next life, please make me the son of Ambani? Do we want that kind of consciousness? We don't know what will our situation be, right? Or maybe make me stay in the house of Ambani. We might become the ant in that house. We don't know. Right? Rather, we want the consciousness that please make me maybe just a blade of grass in Goloka Vrindavan. I want association of the Gopas, of the Gopis, of Krishna. Right? Make me, put me in a situation, whatever happens, whatever situation I am in, but make me in a situation where I have an association of devotees. That's what Radha Swami Maharaj is saying. Leave up all the anxiety and just meditate on Krishna. That will happen only if you are in association of Vaishnavas. And that's why reading this Krishna book, Srimad Bhagavatam, is so nice. You can just meditate on Krishna. You can meditate on Krishna's devotees. So, Krishna consciousness is amazing if you really take it seriously. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. I have a lot to talk about in this verse, but I try to control. Bhayodvegair. This is a very nice verse. Okay, let me show you. Amazing, no? It just tells. Fear. There are two kinds of fear. One is external fear. When we see a lion, we become fearful. That is external fear. Internal fear is, oh, tomorrow, today I was just slacking. Next day morning, my manager is going to ask me, what will I say? That is another kind of fear. That is internal fear. So Krishna is saying, any kind of fear you have, how can you give up that fear? You can repeat after me. This is again the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a Namale Puran. Bhayam vitiya biniveshata syad. Ishadapetasya viparyayo smriti. Tanmaya yato buddhavajetam. Tanmaya yato buddhavajetam. Bhaktyeka yesham yatātmā. There's so many Bollywood songs we can instead sing this. So nice. Especially when we know the meaning of it. Who is the next person who can read? Maybe Maharaj. Yeah, Maharaj, you can read. You want to read? Oh no, you have to read from here. You can read? Is it visible? You can read the verse. Maybe Jyotsna, you can read, and you can read the next verse. Jyotsna, you can see. Yeah, you can read. From here. Fear arises, right? Fear arises in our heart, but how we can overcome the fear?
Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of the absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away,
misidentifies himself as a material body, we think that we are not the spirit soul, we are the material body. Then this fear arises.
Turns away from the Supreme Lord, he forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by potency for illusion called maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and his very life and soul.
Right? Imagine this guy. Vaishnava, Jai Ghanshyam, whose initiated name is Jai Ghanshyam, is actually Jai Shakti, or Gopal Das. These are all influencers, but even they take guidance from their spiritual master. Radha Swami Maharaj also take guidance from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada take guidance from Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Nobody will say that I don't want a guru. Right? A sober, intelligent person understands that his spiritual life is dependent on the mercy of his spiritual master. That is very, very important. Even Vaishnava Maharaj, and we take shelter of him as a teacher. But even he as a guru was Srila Prabhupada. Everyone should have some mentor in life, some guide, especially spiritual master. So then when we take that instructions also, then our fear in our heart starts reducing. That anxiety in our heart starts reducing. We understand whatever it is there, my main fear should be, I should not become separated from the loving association of devotees and Krishna. That should be our main fear. That should be our main fear. We'll go to the next verse. 16. You can repeat after me. Anapeksha shuchir daksha. Shuchi means cleanliness. Shuchi. Anapeksha shuchir daksha. उदासीनो गता व्यथा सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद-भक्त समे प्रियः. Here again what they are saying, priya means dear. You have to become dear to Krishna, right? Because in living beings we can be how much ever dear, but they will still say some complaint will be there. But to Krishna, he is very merciful. He is very merciful. It's called. He is known as Bhakta-vatsal. Bhakta-vatsal means he gives himself to the devotees. He is very merciful. Uma Mataji, now you can read it.
My devotee, who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert.
Daksha means expert. Expert in how to dovetail the desires towards Krishna. That is an expertise, right? It's an expertise.
Without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
Right? When we are reading this, we can remember Srila Prabhupada. He was going through so much. Imagine, he is a person who is staying in Vrindavan where there is not like 0-degree snow and all. When he came to New York, and from the window, when he saw next day morning, when he was sleeping in one of the place, next day morning when he got up from the window, he saw everywhere white. So he was thinking, what is this white bed sheet? He didn't even know that this is all covered by snow. So much, it was so much new for him. He was going through so much ups and downs, but he was thinking that whatever I have come here for, Krishna, Shri Master has told me. If you ever get time, maybe after Krishna we can do this, you should read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, the life of Srila Prabhupada. It's so amazing. We'll go to the next verse, then we'll stop there. 17. I wanted to complete the chapter, but maybe next week definitely will be good. Let's see, otherwise we'll try to read today only. Let's see how much we can complete. Next week is 13th chapter. If you are coming, please grace yourself with one of the toughest chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We'll see how we can make it simple. But let's chapter is considered tough chapters. And then Jnana Yoga will start. Jnana Yoga. Till now 12th chapter, it's all Bhakti Yoga. 7 to 12 is all Bhakti Yoga. 13th chapter is Jnana Yoga, all intellectual things. For engineers, it will be like, oh, this is gulab jamun. Okay, we'll do. Yo na risheti na dveshti. Na shochati na kamshati. Shubha ashubha parityagi. Shaktiman, no, this Bhaktiman, yasmān priyaḥ. Bhaktiman is greatest for the devotees. Okay? Greatest for the devotees. Yasmān priyaḥ. Who is next? Niyayika, you want to be?
One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me.
For him, there is nothing auspicious, nothing inauspicious. Just being with Krishna is all auspicious. Just remembering Krishna is all auspicious. So, what does the point of inauspicious, auspicious come? Because if something is auspicious, which seems to be inauspicious, maybe it is the mercy of the Lord. It is the mercy of the Lord. So we don't know what is inauspicious. Like for example, I'll tell you, for me, I applied to 10 universities when I came first time I was applying to USA for masters. And how we apply in India, you know, right? 3 topmost, then 3 medium, then 3 lagi jayega, yahan to lagi jayega, and 1 out of my league. Right? So like that I applied 10 universities, ek bhi nahi laga. 1 also I didn't get. And then I said, kya Krishna, kya maine popat kar diya? Everyone will ask. Even in the office, I told some of my colleagues, main to ja raha hu, next time they will ask me, main to gaya nahi. What do I tell them? Right, so I was thinking all that was going in my head. And then one of my friend, he already came to here. And then he came to know that he attacked gaya bichara. He was there already. So he told me, you apply in UIUC. Because then he told, you apply in spring in UIUC. I was like, bhai, yahan nahi laga, wahan kahan matlab. Then what's my Christian mercy, UIUC happened, and then I met my wife there only. And then my Krishna conscious journey started. So the point is, we don't know. I always feel after that, it was blessing in disguise when I didn't get in any of those universities. So we don't know what is inauspicious and auspicious. Whatever Krishna has his own plans, and we don't know. He can just be an instrument in Krishna's plans.
So sad.
Yeah. So Krishna is saying, one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. Okay. 18-19. We'll do this verse. Sama-shatrau cha mitre cha tatha man-pamanayo shitoshna. Shitoshna means heat and cold. It's so difficult, right? If it's too much heat, it's hard. Shitoshna sukha-duḥkheṣu sama-sanga vivarjita tulya-ninda sutirmoni santuṣṭo yena kenacit aniketa sthira-mate bhakti-man me priyo naraha. Just one more quality I can talk about entire one class on Srila Prabhupada showing that virtue. But time. Okay, who is next? Santosh. Since you can only read the word, your santuṣṭa is coming.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor.
It's so hard, right? Honor and dishonor.
Heat and cold.
I'll tell you one story about heat and cold. Okay. You can know Srila Prabhupada. Good.
Happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association.
People commit suicide. Someone has mentioned, he might comment पे ऐसे कैसे comment डाल दिया मेरे post पे. People will commit suicide. You never know. Infamy. Right? So people is about that. Fame and infamy. Some people say that I am hardwired now. I don't get affected. So anyways, we should avoid only completely. But if you yes, go ahead. Santosh.
Always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed.
Srila Prabhupada, imagine now, he's the founder of ISKCON. Almost for some days, for 5-6 days, he was sleeping on the footpath. He had no place for me to stay. And still he didn't say, "Arey, kya main Damodar temple mein tha, mere liye to alag se ek, they had given me a place, what I am sleeping on the footpath with other hippies." He never felt like that. He said, Krishna has, my special master has ordered me to come to West and spread Krishna. I mean, if you just read his life story, right, you will understand that. I mean, what he has done for us. And I can tell for myself, I would be rotting somewhere near the gutter, drinking and all that. But because of Srila Prabhupada, Krishna is protecting me. Srila Prabhupada, I'm so grateful. So anyways, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me.
I'll tell you one story about happiness in this heat and cold of Srila Prabhupada. Then we will see, we'll end the class. 20th verse, we will, and then we'll start the 15th chapter. At least we'll get some 12th chapter also. And then we'll end. Today we didn't read any purport also. Let's see. We'll read this, we'll hear this story and then we'll see. So, it's a very nice story. So, Srila Prabhupada, when he was in Delhi, he had not yet moved to India. He was still trying first in Delhi. He thought, कि पहले तो India में set up करते हैं, उसके बाद we will do in Western world. Then later on he realized कि Indian people actually copy Western. If Western people take up Krishna consciousness, then Indian to jump करके लेंगे. Right? So then what he started doing, he started printing a magazine called Back to Godhead magazine. BTG it is called, BTG. So Back to Godhead magazine he was publishing. So what he used to do is, that time there was no team, he was alone. So he was publishing, he was doing everything, he was writing also. So then what happened is, he started distributing also. He was the one who used to distribute also. So once it was Delhi heat, right? Who have stayed there, they know what is Delhi heat means, right? Especially the summertime, it's Delhi heat. There is no adjective. The adjective is Delhi heat. That's the adjective. How is the heat? Delhi heat. So it was very, very hot. And in that afternoon, he was going place to place to distribute BTG magazines. So there was one person who writes this, remembering Srila Prabhupada. He writes this article and he says that I was seeing Swamiji going to shop, to house, to distribute magazines. And I came to one house. I was going to some other place, and I saw that Swamiji was standing near a house giving back to God magazine. And when I came back after 2 hours, I saw that Swamiji is still standing there. And then I asked that Swamiji, Sri Prabhupada asked, that what are you doing from last 2 years, 2 hours in this shop, in this house? And then Swamiji, this Sri Prabhupada said that this person took back to God magazine and told that I'll come back and I'll give you 5 rupees. I'm waiting for him to give the 5 rupees. And then he said, Swamiji, it is so hot. And then he felt so much compassion. He said, you take this 5 rupees, but you please, you go to some shelter, to some place. And then he saw the tattered clothes of Srila Prabhupada, because it was so hot, he was all alone. Because he just wanted, whatever money he was getting, he was just printing books. Whatever money he had, he was just printing books. So he saw the tattered clothes of Srila Prabhupada and he said, you take more. He gave more money and he said, please get some clothes. And he writes this in his article. So we see that a pure devotee of the Lord is not affected by heat and cold. I still remember I was driving Gaurang Prabhu. You know Gaurang Prabhu? I was driving him, and sometimes you end up seeing some clothes and all. So I saw that many of his shirt and dhoti, it had you put a patch and you stitch it. I was thinking, this guy is a director of Govardhan Eco Village. If he just orders also, right, people will give thousands and thousands of dollars for him. But he has taken all that, whatever he has used it for his spiritual master and for his project. He could have taken that and he could have used it for at least having better clothes. But devotee of the Lord is not affected by that. He just wants to serve. It is very hard. It is very hard, believe me. But when we have higher taste, then we are not affected by these things. And at our level, we will not understand it. But when we are with devotees, those kind of devotees, then we will understand that for them these things are secondary. That's why when we come in contact with devotees, that's why we should come to ISKCON temple. We should come to temple not just to Mata Tekke, Krishna, give me this, give me that, not just that. But just come here and sit and hear from Vaishnavas and we can understand. They have a lot of depth. We are not able to see, but they have a lot of depth. So with that we will end. I wanted to do some chanting. We'll do 3 minutes of chanting. We'll do 10 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, and after that we'll take prasada. Thank you so much. Very grateful to tolerate me till 8 p.m. So 8 a.m. also we can go. Next week we'll do 20th verse, and after that we'll start 13th chapter. Before chanting, we will sing this mantra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, and after that, what we can do is we can just focus on this Hare Krishna mantra. We can chant all together in unison, Hare Krishna mantra, and we can just pray to Krishna that Krishna, please show me the path. Please help me to become deeper in this Krishna consciousness. Please give me association of devotees and give me intelligence to take advantage in a proper way from these devotees, and help me engage in some service to these devotees and to you, Krishna. We can just pray for that. And while doing that, we can just chant the Hare Krishna mantra and hear the Hare Krishna mantra. So hear the Hare Krishna mantra, be prayerful, and just chant from your tongue. Okay, before that we'll chant Shri Krishna